So a few days ago, I made this video called Black Men Never Get Any Credit for Their Protection and Provision. And I was telling the story of a man that I grew up with that didn't get a lot of respect, despite the fact that he was a black man strong in the community. What I'd like to do is play a small clip of that particular video that I'm referencing, and then I'm gonna come back. The year is 1989, and I'm just an 8-year-old little boy. My father, who was 34 years old at the time, decided it would be a good idea to get his young son involved into organized sports. And the first organized sport he wanted me to participate in was Little League Baseball. For those of you who are from the black community, we are all familiar with T-Ball, Little League Baseball, Pop Warner. Most of these organizations in the black community are ran by unheralded, talented black men who never get enough respect. Just like boxing coaches, like the great Doc Broadus, who took a young George Foreman from a Houston ghetto and pretty much turned him into one of the greatest heavyweight boxers of all time, doesn't get any respect. But let's get back to my story. When I started playing baseball, I was assigned to the Del Paso Heights A's, or the Athletics. And it was organized, the head of the Little League Baseball team, by a lady who's now passed on. I believe her name was Velma Armstrong. We all know her as Mrs. Armstrong. But the heart and soul of the Little League Baseball community, in my opinion, was a man by the name of Harry Block. Harry Block was so impactful in Del Paso Heights, the city decided to name a street after him. That is why if you type in Harry Block Street, you will see that obviously that is a street, but we don't know why that street is there. Simply because the accomplishments of this man in Del Paso Heights were so great, the least thing that we could do is name a street after him. And Harry Block reminds me of so many unheralded black men that have stepped in the gap, encouraged young black men, was married, took care of his wife and kids, showed young black men a better way, and people like me can come back and testify to his greatness because we don't tell his story. But we don't want to talk about the black men like that who come out every day and swing the bat for young black boys who don't have their fathers in their lives. We don't talk about that. We always come in and talk about the black men who don't do anything. I got a lot of positive comments, but I want to look at some of the comments that I got from both men, but largely women. And women were saying on the comment section, or in the comment section, that you know what, as black men, that's what y'all supposed to be doing. You supposed to be protecting the community. You're supposed to be giving back. Why you want some accolades for what you should be doing? And you know what? I just really want to say that as a brother from the African-American community, as a black man, I have seen, at least from what I can remember, because I remember that early 90s when black women were really coming out with the, you had Mary J. Blige with the overalls and the New Jack Swing and the Totals and that whole influence of independent black women. We're doing it our way now and all of that. I remember black women getting a lot of accolades for just doing normal stuff. Okay. Which is, I'm paying my bills. I got my own car. I mean, that, and then Boosie came up with I believe that was the INDE. I don't know who's that. Was it him or a Little Chris? I don't know that song. Independent, right? So black women started, Webby, right? It was Webby. Started getting accolades for doing things, just taking care of themselves. So you wanted accolades for taking care of yourself, which is, again, getting a car, getting a job, renting an apartment. That's what we were bragging about for like 20 years in the black America for black women. Now, when we talk about these black men who are risking their lives, taking care and mentoring kids is not theirs, you're telling me and other black men that this is what you should be doing in the first place. Okay, I understand that. But then here's the issue. Once they don't do it, then there's all of these derogatory names. You're a simp if you don't do it. because that's also that, you're running from your responsibility. You're not only a real man would do that. So in other words, if you don't want to take care of people's responsibilities, you're not a real man. And this is the reason why there's a certain level of chagrin towards certain sisters in the Black American community, because most of you believe that men owe you something and that you deserve, even though you have, in my opinion, the attitude that, I hate to say this, but it could even compare it. It could even be like, it's unscrupulous. Okay, let's just say that. It's unprincipled. You feel that these men owe you something simply because they're men and it is their duty to provide for you. But yet, when you do anything of normality, it is celebrated. Owning a home is celebration. If a man owns a home, it's normal. Buying your own car, paying your own bills. Let me tell you ladies something. You have no idea what it takes for some man to be successful. And I will say that living in the United States, it does help being an American citizen. I was lucky enough to be born and raised in America. I was lucky enough to have a great mother. I was lucky enough to have a great Black community. And then I was able to matriculate through junior college system, California State University system. I went to HBCU. I went to UC Berkeley Postback. I went to medical school. All due to the fact that I was an American citizen. Loans and credit and things, I'm grateful. But even with all of that help, it took a lot of work. A lot of these Black men that you're believing that, they owe you something, they've also come from many challenges to even be in a sphere where a woman would even consider you to be valuable. How much work do you need to do? Most Black men are not what women would consider to be, very physically attractive. And that's most men in general, are, even if they are attractive, not necessarily charismatic and things like that. This is not what you don't understand. And then when that man becomes somebody, he needs to go out and do things, to be specific, in this niche audience of Black America. And his efforts should result in, taking care of people. Largely, he doesn't know. Although some of the children that you young ladies have sired, these fathers not even there. Nobody owes you anything as a man. Okay? I want you women to understand that, because you're an adult. No man owes you nothing. He owe you the fact to respect you, not to invade your privacy, to respect your human rights. That he owes you. But as far as him to sacrifice himself for you, that's not what he owes you. Because women largely feel that you don't need to do a goddamn thing for men. You don't have to do nothing, right? I ain't got to give you no booty. I ain't got to submit to you. Okay, that's fine. Then you need to also understand that these men who have paved a way for themselves do not owe you nothing. And when Black women start trying to, denigrate some of these men's accomplishments, it basically, it's sad. Let's go ahead on and diminish, let's deprecate what these guys are doing. And let's try to say that these great things these men are doing is normality. It's normal. That's what they should be doing. Then okay, shouldn't you be cooking and cleaning? Oh, now we're gonna have a fight now. Talking about that, right? You need to be cooking, cleaning for your man. Isn't that what you should be doing? Now, all of a sudden, we got to change the whole definition and construct of femininity now, because the goalpost needs to be shifted. Shout out to my brother Don Calypso, Oregon. We're going to have to shift all of that because y'all don't want to. Do you understand how silly this sounds? But this is what y'all do. Let's belittle everybody. because nothing that these guys do is important. Then when somebody comes and recognizes, you know what, there's black men, and then, now I'm starting to see it's not even that black men getting so much of a hatred dealing with the white woman or anything like that, right? I'm starting to see now in the diaspora, there's starting to be some shit in the game. A black man starts to deal with a woman from Ghana. Let it be from Nigeria, the Caribbean. I'm starting to see some commentary coming from there. But now you can't say that he don't like black women now when he's doing that. So now what are you saying? Oh, well, now the argument will shift. Well, you can't afford American women. The reality is you can't afford that bad attitude you got, because it's costing you something. Those of you who have that perspective, and you have no idea what men go through, especially black men, none. Okay. Whatever you see right now, that man is taking years to become somebody. Years. Where don't nobody want to give you a chance, an opportunity, nothing. Years. Okay? Do you understand what years means? A long time. So stop sitting here as if, okay, you are doing something special for somebody because you're you. No, you're not. You need to have several seats. Please. And I mean that with all due respect. A lot of women need to have more respect for what these men have went through and what they're trying to achieve. Individually. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson. Back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Producer for all of you, do subscribe to the bell. We're out.